The mic was muted, you dig what I'm saying? What's Gucci? You too. It's Pop Brady, you dig? Marvelous Blunt, super in the building, you dig what I'm saying? Super live in direct. I'm doing a live stream of the Fantastic Four First Steps review, the spoiler alert. You dig what I'm saying? Yesterday I dropped the out of the theater review and my non-spoiler review. So now tonight we're gonna get into the spoilers of Fantastic Four First Steps. I done had some time to think about the movie. I done had time to just think about everything with it. And now we're gonna get to the spoiler. But before we get to the spoiler, man, if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Follow Marvel's Bluntz for all the other videos that we've been posting, man. Just and appreciate all the love, man, that I've been getting to the channel. You dig what I'm saying? But big spoiler alert. I'm gonna go over everything I like, everything I remember, everything really in my notes that I didn't say on my non-spoiler, but they get right into this movie with Sue being pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I really like that aspect. They didn't do all the beating around and all of a sudden she was pregnant midway through the movie. They made that the main focus at the main movie, at the beginning of the movie, which shows you that, you know, Franklin Richard is going to be probably a huge part, as they say. He's a big hero in the comics. Is definitely going to be a huge part of the storyline going forward in the Doomsday storyline. Like, that the main focus is on this kid. You feel what I'm saying? They already looking at the future, which goes along with the first steps, you know what I'm saying, with a baby. So, you know, Sue was pregnant, and immediately we get to see the Fantastic Four 4 years into how they just been living. You feel what I'm saying? And I can't even lie. That first scene, what was it? Excuse me, I just sneezed a little bit earlier. But that first scene, the first scene when they actually had them like going over what they was doing for the first 4 years, bro. Like, I can't even hold you. I was so happy, bro. Like, I was like, dang. I was like, they didn't go through the whole. We had to watch them go to space, and all of a sudden end up with these powers. They explained it in one little dialogue, man, and in a couple of scenes. And it just really showed how each character in that first scene do what they do. It showed like how, you know, Reed is he's the brains of the group. Johnny is the hot guy. The you know what I'm saying, he's taking care of the hot issues. You got the thing holding everything together. And I'm gonna be real with you. They did a big surprise, and I think they didn't market it like she was, but I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Let me see something real quick, because I just went here. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I honestly believe, and this is my honest truth, Sue was the leader of the Fantastic Four. Straight like that. She was the leader of the Fantastic Four. Like, I don't care what they try to say. I don't care how they try to shape it. She is the leader of the Fantastic Four. She was doing all the talking. And not saying that they weren't all talking, but they made it seem like Reed Richards was the leader, but he was not the leader. It definitely was Sue. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it's how we are in life and times now. So I wasn't shocked by that, but that is like was the big shock for me. Finding out that, you know, they did a different type of universe where they had like a 1960s type feel to this joint. And I really, really like that, man. I didn't know how that old school on screen was going to work, but I think the guy who made this Fantastic Four, he actually made WandaVision too. So that's his style. You know what I'm saying? Doing the old school styles and stuff like that with just how it's depicted on the screen. Like, it was like the 1960s. So this was Earth 828. So they were super popular on this planet, on cereal boxes, TV, all that stuff like that. And Shorty straight pulled up on them. The Silver Surfer pulled up on them, let them know why they was having it up. Hey, like, Galactus is coming to eat this planet, bro. Like, he coming to run down. And immediately, one thing I did like about what they did was they got right to it. They didn't even wait and like, oh, we should wait till right. Nah, they went smack to my boy Galactus. They didn't waste no time. They said, we want all the smoke like it's Barty. You feel me? So they go out to space to go find, like, Man, Reed is so smart in this joint. That's why I got to give Pedro Pascal his credit. You feel what I'm saying? Because he was super nerdy and it fit. You feel me? He figured out how to use pieces of where the Silver Surfer was at in space to find out what Galactus was. So they go pull up on him, right? This was the best part of the first act. If this was the first act, I'm telling you, when it was the space scene was the best, probably the best scene in the movie to me. So they go pull up on Galactus, and as they doing the scans for like their bodies and stuff like that, all bucks. The joint point at Sue's stomach. I said, uh-oh, he want that baby. So they tell him pull up, and he basically like, look, you can hand the baby over, or you cannot hand the baby over. I'm leaving here with something. You hear me? He said, I'm leaving here with something. I don't care what y'all got going on, wherever y'all at. I'm tired, man. Galactus looked tired, and I can't even lie. And IMAX Galactus looked crazy. You hear me? He looked like he was a straight hitter. Like he looked all the villains that's been in the MCU. He actually looked menacing. You feel me? Let me see here. Hey, what's good? What's good? He said, "Hey, what's up? Really enjoyed the Fantastic Four first steps with the movies where we were released." Yeah, no, most definitely. They were definitely the MVP. Just to go off and hold on with the Galactus spill. They was definitely. I think Kuhn said that Reed was number one. Johnny was my number one, but Reed definitely held it down. I can't even hold you. Like he was ahead of the class for the Fantastic Four. Definitely an A. Sue, she just showed me that she's super OP. They made Sue super OP, but this wasn't a gripe in the movie, but this was the type of movie it was. And I see they got to hit different angles. It was a family movie, but this was like a mommy bear. I'm a mom. That body was Sue Storm was. She was holding it down for the strong moms out there. So it definitely was a I'm a mom movie, but she did her thing. And then Johnny, spoiler alert, it's a scene I didn't talk about in a non-spoiler where Johnny he learns the communication. The Silver Surfer speaks to him and her language. You know what I'm saying? She actually got taken from her daughter and her planet. To save her planet, she became a Silver Surfer. So she's speaking to Johnny her language. Johnny learns the language and flips it on her and says, man, look at all the people that you cause harm to, destroying plans for Galactus, trying to save yours. And he really put that guilt on her. Like, man, that was a powerful scene. He was like, man, don't you out here doing stuff for yourself, but then you destroying the world for nothing. You feel what I'm saying? For this big goofy Galactus. You feel me? So Galactus, shout out to that though. No, they definitely was the MVPs though. So Galactus, they pull up on Galactus, bro. My favorite scene in the movie. He like get a baby up. And I'm gonna spare y'all world. Sue ain't having it. They ain't having it. So they like, nah, we rolling out. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Man, Galactus tries to snatch him. They do a chase to get out of Galactus's little lair, dog. And that was the best scene. They jumped through space. They was jumping through timeline. They was jumping through black holes. That was that space scene, chase scene was crazy. And shout out to the CGI and how this looked in IMAX. I can't even hold you. IMAX amped this movie all the way up. If you see this movie, go see it at IMAX. That space scene when Silver Surfer, she was riding on the waves, cuz I said, oh my goodness, she like a real surfer. You know what I'm saying? And then them trying to really get low, Sue having her baby, her going into labor, bro. It was so much going on, bro. I was like, are they going to get trapped in another universe, in another timeline? I thought it was actually going to be the end credit scene to the Thunderbolts. I thought that could have been interesting if they maybe went to the Thunderbolts universe and then they just jetted out. Like it really didn't mean anything, but it's giving us a glimpse in the universe that we live in, our heroes, that is somebody else out here. So that space scene was crazy, dog. And just they dynamic on screen as a family. I know I be joking around all the time saying family, like from Fast and the Furious. But It really was a family aspect that worked. It wasn't cheesy. Nobody was corny. Nobody was cringy. And Marvel been doing that for like the past 4 years, dog. It's been some stuff that's been cringy, some stuff that hasn't been cringy, and this was no cringe. And it reminded me of, I told y'all, the dude who made WandaVision made this joint. It reminded me of the first couple episodes of WandaVision before that joint just crashed. And that's going to get me to the axe in a second. So boom, they like, all right, they get it, they escape Galactus in a fire space scene. You feel what I'm saying? So basically, they come back and they tell everybody, hey, like, we fucked up, we failed. Like, you know what I'm saying? They didn't fail. Basically, when they came back, everybody was like, yeah, everything went good, right? And they like, nah. Like, nah, it's a real threat out here. And basically, they go ahead and just admit, Reed go ahead and just say, hey, Galactus, I know he said he on our ass already, but he want our son. This is what everybody did. So y'all ain't get a son up? Hey, that's how selfish this world is. They always standing there like, so why you ain't get a son up? Why was the kid not giving up then? You feel what I'm saying? They like, what? You know what I'm saying? So for me, that was just shocking. And always showing that back and forth of this, the civilian side of the darks and ups and downs of being a superhero. Because one minute they love you, and the next minute they will not fuck with you. Because they was definitely not fucking with that. They had no plan. It got to the point they thinking of a plan where, what's his name? Reed, like, at this point, we might just have to get a boy up. And Sue just wasn't rocking. So they kept thinking of plans. They kept thinking of plans. And this part was more so the second act, which I really didn't rock with. I felt like it kind of slowed down in this scene where Galactus is on his way. It just wasn't enough menacing presence, or like just like, oh, it was just, that's why I said the first act was great. The second act was cool. And then the last act was good. You feel what I'm saying? So they come up with a plan and basically like, hey, we going like hide ourselves basically from Galactus. You know what I'm saying? We're going to hide ourselves from Galactus. So we're going to move our Earth to another dimension. You feel what I'm saying? So he won't find us. Like that's how I said, that's how smart Reed really was. You feel what I'm saying? Killing it with the smartness. John, what's good? What's good? Killing it with the smartness, bruh. I said, damn, Buddy made something where they can move 828, planet 828 to another planet, cuz like another universe. They was gonna black hole that shit. You feel what I'm saying? And thank God that Silver Surfer broke that up, because they had the whole world using less power. Everybody was turning the lights off. It was all types of buffoonery. I was so happy when Silver Surfer just said, boom, blew that shit up. Game over. Try again. I really did I really rocked with that. And Johnny, that led to his scene that I talked about earlier, his powerful scene, and just basically confronting her about who she was. Like I said, that made the scene for me for Johnny. The thing, if he wasn't on the bear, I think the bear is the reason why I like the character that paid the thing. Other than that, he was just there, bro. Like, they didn't really go deep into him like how in the older movies where what's his name, they really like had the thing dating somebody. He was dating somebody. He had like real problems and stuff. So him and Johnny still had that back and forth type thing, and I like that too. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to them. So they make the world shut everybody thing down. Silver Surfer fucks the plan up. I'm like, oh my God. And nope. Before that, Sue go outside and give this weak ass speech. Like, I know what she was trying to do, but I'm just like, bruh, if she the leader of the Fantastic Four, just say that, Marvel. Like, stop being scared, acting like y'all don't want, man. If she the leader of the Fantastic Four, Marvel, just go ahead and say that. We don't have to beat around the bush. You know what I'm saying? Because they made Sue OP. She went OP in this movie. So the Silver Surfer messes everything up. They say, all right, bet we got to come with another plan. So they basically like, man, we going to hit Galactus with the okie doke. Get him to come here, take a fake, you know what I'm saying, a fake Frank, little baby Frank, and then putting him into a black hole, having them flushed out. Don't have to worry about him again. Now, here's my thing, right? They show Galactus. They show, you know what I'm saying, him looking menacing. After the first act, bro, Buddy was a ship. Buddy turned to a ship for the rest of the movie until he got to Earth. And then at that point, the menacing thing kind of went away because they had started working with Mole Man. Everybody was on the ground. No, you know what I'm saying? I want to see him really terrorize New York, how the Avengers got terrorized on the first movie. You feel what I'm saying? This is an OP being. You know what I'm saying? Galactus is OP. My biggest dislike was the fact he was not used more than he could have. Like, they could have went way further with that. Like, it was at one point, I don't know how they beat Galactus, to be honest with you. That's why I said with Sue and OP, it was out of nowhere. I was like, all right, you feel me? That's why I said the last ending fight scene just wasn't it for me. It had some moments where it was like, oh yeah, but then I was like, man, like Sue, this is my thing about it, right? One, they was getting dog walked the whole way. They got dog walked. He outsmarted them the whole way. I feel like Mr. Fantastic put in the most work. It's clobbering time wasn't as much as I wanted it to be. Like Marvel Rivals, when that bitch go off, it's clobbering time. You feel that motherfucker. You feel me, Paul? And this joint, I didn't even feel it when he threw him. I was just like, all right, like the commercial, which I will say, a lot that was in the trailers was not in the movie, which was cool too. But that was in the trailer with him throwing them and him saying it's clobbering time. That could have been a little bit more. But boom, Galactus, he takes Frank. You feel me? And they just end up really going at him. Like they going at him hard. I think Mr. Fantastic went the hardest at him. I think he did the most damage. And can we say how he broke Reed into a fucking origami? He turned him into crumbs, bruh. He stretched them out and just left them right there. Nobody even checked on Reed. You know what I'm saying? And not saying they shouldn't have checked on Sue after she died or whatever, but was Reed okay? Because he was folded up like a pretzel. Like, I've never, like, what? Like, yeah, bruh, it was weak. It was weak. So that throw was weak, and she was bad too. So boom, they get to going at him. Reed is all crumbled up like a pretzel and shit. Sue does like a super little, like, you know what I'm saying? Her powers, like she's like real live pushing Galactus with her last might into the black hole now. She's like, oh, I gotta get him in there. Then they got the thing knocking down the building, the support going down. They all trying. And all of a sudden, not only does Sue say today, Silver Surfer says today. So I'm like, all right. That's what I kind of like, all right. They knocked Galactus, spoiler alert, they knocked Galactus into the black hole. Very anticlimactic for me. And then on top of that, when she died, I was just like, it was so obvious that they was going to have baby Frankie, go ahead and bring her back to life. It was just too obvious. It was too obvious. I gotta be real. It was too obvious. And she come back to life. No funny. I heard like a bunch of women behind, bruh. When Sue died, this one I was like, Marvel, man, y'all got him. You feel me? We heard sniffles in the theater. People were actually like, what the fucky? I would have liked this. She died. Do y'all know what we went through in Infinity War? Infinity War, I can't even lie. When everybody started dusting and dipping and blipping, I was like, hold up, bro. Where everybody? What? Hold up. We was like, huh? Next thing you know, Spider-Man said, Mr. Stark. That's when I was like, hold up. That's when I started getting serious. So I'm like, hold up. With this, it was just like, all right, we know she's gonna be in Doomsday, so it's kind of obvious she's gonna come back. and we know they want to show Franklin is OP. You feel what I'm saying? So little baby Frankie bring her back to life. Fantastic Four. They cueing the score. You feel what I'm saying? Which I told y'all, 10 out of 10 score. How they kept using Fantastic Four, that just that sound over and over again was, man, the score is like that in this movie. Fantastic Four. Every time that joint came on in the theater, I was like this. I pointed at Torian all that just throw before. You just throw before automatically for no reason. So boom. We get to the end. They save the day. Obviously, they save the day. Everything works out. You feel what I'm saying? Baby Frankie gets saved. You know, it's like the Fantastic Four, do it again. And like an alarm goes off at the end, because the beginning they were on NBC or ABC doing this show. And, you know, the alarm goes off again. They disappear. All of them disappear. And it's like, Fantastic Four. And the movie ended, man. I was like, okay, man. And I will say, we going to definitely get it. Lighters up, torch up, lighters up, because I think, one, the story was clean. No matter what my little gripes was, the story was clean. It was no real flaws in the story to me. You know what I'm saying? Except the last battle. And Sue just going super OP. I feel like everybody should have went OP. That's my thing. We should have seen them all go OP to really beat down Galactus. You feel what I'm saying? Like everybody go OP. Which was cool. I was like, all right, whatever, I'll let it slide. Or even the last scene, like the all the boys, of course, don't know how to put the car seat in. You know what I'm saying, bruh? Baby Frankie can bring people back to life. This motherfucker better get the flying. You feel what I'm saying? You better learn how to fly, young boy. You feel? Hey, little Frank, you need to learn how to fly, young boy, because you bringing your mother back to life, but you don't know how to fly. How that's about to work? How that's gonna work? You let me know. Y'all let me know in the chat. How that gonna work? So boom, it ends. We go through the credit scenes. Now, before I get into little pointers and little things that, you know, I just wrote down in my notes, just in general too, right? You know what I'm saying? Spoiler alert. In credit scene, Sue is like reading to baby Frank. Now he like 4 years old. He got older. His time is skipped again. And she likes reading a book, and he want to read the other book. And then one of the books, I think, let me go look it up. I forgot what book it was. One second. I said Franklin read. Like when you typing on Google, you just type so dumb. You know what I'm saying? Okay. What are they doing? It's not okay. If anybody in the chat can remember, what was the name of the book? Hold on, wait. I think I remember the author. Hold on, wait. I remember the author. Okay. It was a book by Charles Darwin. And it might have been on the origin of the species. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's something about creating, you know what I'm saying? So they definitely hinting he gonna be on some super, like, he probably gonna be like, stay on. He's gonna be like, brother, do you know that I came from a sister that was invisible? Do you know the fights, the invisible fights that sisters have to fight behind closed doors, brother? You see how my mother's the invisible woman? She was fighting invisible battles, my brother. That's going to be Franklin. So they go, she leaves out and she come back. She like, oh, she about to turn up. And they said it was Robert Downey Jr. holding Dr. Doom's mask, and he talking to Franklin with the mask off. You dig what I'm saying? And it ended at that. And everybody was like, oh. I'm going to keep it a beam with you. The origin of species. Yeah, on the origin of species. I'm gonna be real with you why I was anticlimactic that it was Dr. Doom. They already revealed to us Robert Downey Jr. didn't rip the toy Dr. Doom mask off his face. We didn't see it on Twitter for the past year. Like, it's movies suck because they don't know how to keep things under wrap because they got to keep feeding the animal, which is the YouTube channels that do scoops every day, theories every day, because at the end of the day, any publicity is getting you that shine that you need. So Disney like, all right, Marvel like, we'll take it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when you already show us Dr. Doom, it doesn't have that effect of like, who is it? I guarantee you, if they did not tell us who Dr. Doom was and just showed Dr. Doom at the end of this joint, and we did not know Dr. Doom was coming, we knew Doomsday was coming, but we didn't see a Dr. Doom, the whole theater would have stood up. Facts. Facts. Or you could have really dropped the bomb right there and went ahead. They could have went ahead and showed us Robert Downey Jr. right there as Dr. Doom. That would have been, oh! I'm trying to tell you. Bruh, in the chat, if in the comments, if y'all think that would have been a better out, please let me know. I think that would have been like, oh, that's before the internet got popping, bro. If the internet wasn't popping how it was, bro, I'm trying to tell you, that would be an amazing. When I say amazing, that would be an amazing end credit scene. For the beginning of phase 6. For the beginning of phase 6. That would have been like, oh, imagine if the beginning of phase 6 started when we found out Robert Downey Jr. all of a sudden is Dr. Doom with no explanation. Nothing. You feel me? And that's why I said the leak culture, unfortunately, and keep it up. That's why on this channel, y'all, we just do more reviews and we talk about stuff kind of like depending on how big the topic gets for real. But I really don't like to talk about all that stuff on here because I'm like, bro, I barely watch trailers. So on even the Avatar trailer, I'm probably not gonna watch no more trailers after that. You know what I'm saying? No more trailers after that. Just due to the fact that I don't want to get spoiled for the whole movie. And from what I saw the trailers in Fantastic Four, they didn't spoil it for real. It wasn't a lot of spoilers for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was stuff in there, but it wasn't a lot of spoilers for real. I give it that. But I just think they could have definitely hit. The ending could have went bang. You feel what I'm saying? Like, just think of like how Iron Man or Iron Man 1, when he told everybody he was Iron Man, how that shit really hit. You feel me? I know not in the real world. Of course, we knew he was Iron Man on screen, but at the end, when he just admitted he was Iron Man out of nowhere, we was like, oh! So I think they could have did more of that. But look at this. We doing shit like this. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you done already told him. You already basically told us this the element of surprise. Unless they got another something up their sleeve, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't even hold you. I don't know. Because what else could y'all have up y'all sleeve? We know one theory word in the street, they saying that this is a wild one right here. Somebody said a theory that Dr. Doom, that's not really his face. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he using Iron Man's face as a shield of like being like who he is. And then when they get into Doomsday, they're gonna run into another Iron Man. He'd be like, nah, he is not Iron Man type shit. And then they're gonna show who the real Doom is. I think RDJ is not the real Doom. He may not be the real Doom. Or maybe he's just going anywhere, but I don't think he's the real Doom. I don't know. But shout out to Reed Richards. Shout out to this guy because I definitely was saying a lot of trash about Pedro Pascal. I was saying a lot of bad things about how he was looking, how he was going to be. But I really like Pedro, how he played Franklin. He had an arrogant side to him. He had a concerned side as a father, as a teammate with the Fantastic Four. He wanted to say the earth. He really was showing the pressure of being like the smartest guy in the world. And he handled it well. You feel what I'm saying? They all handled it well. And I really hope they keep building up on the Fantastic Four. I did give this criticism of it, but it's not really a criticism because I think both movies was good. I think Superman was better, but I just think how this movie flowed as a comic book movie reminded me of Superman, except Superman didn't drop off with like how much I was liking it through the whole joint. You feel what I'm saying? Like I was able just to go with the whole joint and just keep on going and keep on going and keep getting better with that. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how I felt watching Superman. It was just like, and then this one it was like, and then it went like that. So that's why I get this movie a solid 7.5. It's a good movie. You know what I'm saying? It is a cool movie. I think it's a movie that you should go see. I think you should go see it in IMAX if you're an MCU fan, a regular just comic book fan. Do you love the movies? Whatever. Go see Fantastic Four. It's an experience. You feel what I'm saying? Actually, it is an experience in the theater. And I think Marvel, they put all their budget into this, obviously, with the great CGI. It looked clean. It wasn't nothing I was looking at like, what the fuck? What is this? You know what I'm saying? No, I didn't look at nothing like that. So some of Marvel's best work in the last 4 years, I definitely would say. Y'all, what y'all thinking below? John or I believe y'all grade below, but I definitely think it's some of Marvel's greatest work in the past couple years, dog. Because we didn't have some trash shit with no mercy.